Thank you very much for coming over so early in the morning. Great. In every session I want to make the specific credits to who that session we are going to talk about. So today's session I would kind of give the credit to the grand old daddies of the Greek philosophy, Plato and Aristotle. Until then, they probably may not be the first ones, but until then people are talking about, oh, this is good, this is happy, this is good, this is happy, kind of a thing. So Plato asked the question of what is goodness itself? Or what is happiness itself? Like instead of just telling, oh, they were coming close to this sky and clouds analogy, but so that is one thing which they did in the West. Of course, in the Indian tradition, this was already being done. But in the Western tradition, this was. And then today, I would also want to give credit to Epicurus, who is the philosopher who thought about pleasure the most, which is also a very important part of all of our lives. And to the modern positive psychologists, Martin Seligman and Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. So these people were the ones even until the 90s, the purpose of psychology was mostly to bring people from something like negative 10 to 0. As long as you're not distressed, you're okay. So these were the people who said, oh, psychology should also play the role of not only making sick, mentally ill people just barely normal, but to go above. So we'll cover from all of these areas today. Quick recap of the previous session. From the last session, what I wanted to kind of bring it forward to this thing was last time we heard about the sky and the cloud analogy. One of the key points was happiness is not one more mental state, but the background in which all of these mental states arise and pass away. This session, what we will do is we will have this clouds and sky analogy, but in the Western thought, maybe I'm wrong, but as far as my research has gone, they never went totally to the sky. So it was all about the different clouds. So some are bright and blue, and the rest is the dark ones, and they were kind of finding out how to maximize the blue. But that's fine. I mean, we still have a lot of things to learn from that, and then that's what we will be covering. To put it more in a positive psychology sense, Martin Seligman had this classified life into 3 parts. One is, he called us as the pleasant life. The second one is the engaged life. That means you are like focused on what you're doing and things like that. And then the third one is the meaningful life. So this will be the background setting for today's thing.
But I just want to make a point. Even though the Western philosophy seemingly did not go beyond, what the exploration that the Vedanta and even maybe some of the Eastern philosophies have gone, intuitively they also understood truth.
Absolutely.
To be what, like for example, I was listening to a particular person. He was talking about, what's the meaning of when you suddenly stop working and then you're retired. One of the things he said was, you're always looking for chasing happiness in the future, or you are reminiscing about the happiness you had in the past. He says the best moment is the moment you are in, always.
Correct.
It's always the moment you are in is the best moment, which is here and now. So where did that come from?
Yes, right. The intuition was always there, because the truth anyway shines through.
Correct.
But how you formulate it in words and this thing is the
it's not as if they didn't understand.
Correct. Yeah.
It's just that they knew instinctively what it was.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any other opening thoughts?
What's the importance of this kind of an abstraction? Is it not enough if you experience it? So everywhere, we see that any kind of theory makes rules, rules, or what is fundamentally the need for such a thing? Is it, see, whatever the rules that you study or you are taught, unless you experience it, you don't feel it.
Absolutely.
So
totally agreed. And I just want to respond to that specific part. So it's not just theory. So that's why we have the Shravana, the listening, reflection, and then making it our own experience. So, and we will see today more about how we look at happiness from a first person perspective, which means how we experience it. The theory is only gives a certain level of guidelines or a map. So when you are experiencing something, to put it in the right perspective is the theory. So that's even in the difference between Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga is almost the same. In the Jnana Yoga, you try to also understand it intellectually and then experience it.
Exactly.
Whereas in Bhakti Yoga, this is exactly the sentiment you brought out. Oh, I don't care about your theories. Don't intellectualize. I just love God. So, both are good approaches and valid. But, we are kind of doing, understanding it. Because for the modern minds, for many people want to understand as well.
Exactly.
What's going on.
It's very well put. So it has to be intellectually understood before you can actually put it to practice.
I'm just thinking, so it's probably very difficult to tell people you experience this.
Yeah.
You have to feel it yourself. So maybe you're just taking a step back to saying, look, go through this framework, you'll experience this. And maybe that's the theorization part, the intellectualization part, where you say, okay, now this is why it happens and this is how it is structured, and people say that, I see, okay, let me see from that point of view, I try to understand what it is like this, what is it that I can experience.
Absolutely.
So go back one step and come back.
Correct.
So, knowledge, therefore they say, it's not a pursuit of knowledge, it's a pursuit of experience.
Correct.
But to experience that, it's not possible for everybody to do that. And therefore, you propagate that to people in terms of the knowledge, and therefore they have a tool by which they can also experience.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's why we go to Bhagavad Gita.
Even Bhagavad Gita is that.
That's why
You give a theoretical framework and then you do the
exactly
experience.
what we are doing.
Okay, good. Who wants to read today? You, Vishji? Yeah. First, maybe read the first 3 paragraphs.
Okay.
Yeah.
The elusive pursuit of happiness. Happiness is a universal aspiration, yet an elusive concept. What does it truly mean to be happy? Is it a fleeting moment of joy, a sustained state of contentment, or something deeper?
A little louder.
In this chapter, we embark on a journey to unravel the complexities of this enduring human quest. We all experience happiness, and most of us intuitively grasp what it feels like. We crave more of it, and philosophers have even called it the ultimate good or the summa bonum of life. Philosophers and psychologists have explored happiness for centuries, resulting in diverse theories and interpretations. Here, I will focus on the experience of happiness from a first-person perspective.
We'll come to this first person perspective in the subsequent paragraph, but here I want to bring this idea of the summum bonum of life. Basically what that means is, that's the ultimate good. Because one of the objections which I always hear is, the world is undergoing so much turmoil. There's wars going on, a lot of people suffering. You want to be happy? Like it's seen as something like very frivolous and selfish thing to do when so much trouble is there to pursue, not pursue, to understand even happiness or even having the desire to be happy. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is both in the West and in the East, it has been thought through and said, no, happiness is a good thing. You pursue it without guilt. You can desire it without any guilt. Go for it. And just to give a couple of examples, in the Indian tradition, the Vedas, there are two major objectives. One is dukkha nivritti. That means cessation of suffering. And it is the same in Buddhist thought also. Dukkha nivritti. And then the second part is, it doesn't stop there. Paramananda prapti. That means to get the ultimate happiness. So this is even the purpose of any spirituality or scriptures and so on. Same in Buddhism about nirvana. Nirvana is not like some neutral nothing state. They're telling you, they're promising something which is good. And even more in the American Constitution, in the Declaration of Independence, I just wanted to read it, it was very interesting. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So, just wanted to bring that fact that pursuing or talking about understanding and wanting to be happy, we are justified. We don't have to feel any guilt there. Okay. Maybe we skip the next two paragraphs and then we go to section 1 straight.
Yeah.
Someone else? Okay. Raghuji, you want to read? A bit louder.
Happiness as feeling or emotion. Since happiness is personal, let's explore it from a first person perspective, that of the individual experiencing it. To begin, understanding the nature of our experiences is crucial. The tapestry of experience. Imagine the world around you, the people, places, and things that form your environment. This is the backdrop for your conscious experience. A rich tapestry woven from various threads. Sensory perceptions, sights, sounds, smells, tastes and textures, thoughts, memories, concepts, images, emotions and feelings, specific reactions to perceptions or thoughts, bodily sensations, physical experiences like hunger, pain, or fatigue. The tapestry of experience is a metaphor for the intricate and interconnected nature of our conscious life, where happiness and unhappiness emerge from a rich interplay of various threads.
The part which you just brought up about experience. So what is the difference? What do I actually mean by first person experience and third person experience? So this is an important, crucial difference. So usually, let's say you taste chocolate and you enjoy it. That's first person experience. Whereas somebody can say, oh, when you're eating the chocolate, there is dopamine being produced. That's a kind of a scientific explanation. So dopamine is the cause. But that's only from a third person perspective. From a first person perspective is, when you eat the chocolate tastes good, straight, period. So we are in this book, we are going to explore happiness from first person perspective. Not that the third person perspective is wrong. Of course, we can look at the brain scans and fMRI scans and make a lot of conclusions, which is all very good. But from a first person perspective, we are the only game in town, meaning we are the experts. Whether you like chocolate or whether you like vanilla is up to you, totally. No one can say, oh, chocolate is better than vanilla taste. Because you are the one who is
going to
taste.
decide.
Yeah. think about the tapestry of experience. This is also one insight which gave a very liberating feeling to me. So when I say tapestry, it just means, okay, when any moment when we take our experience, what is there? We have sensory experiences, sights, smells, sounds, maybe some taste, touch. We have some thoughts or images in our minds. We either feel pleasant emotions or unpleasant emotions. That's it, right? And this is true for all of our life. As a 5-year-old kid, what could you have experienced? Some sights, sounds, taste, textures and smells, some thoughts and emotions. Now also the same. Old age also exactly the same. So it's just the permutations and combinations of this is what life is all about. So something which is, well, it is clear, but it was not so clear to me until I thought about it in this way. Then when we say, hey, I'm missing out a lot on life. This FOMO is there, right? What can you miss out on? It's only some permutation and combination of these. That's about it.
Yeah.
So that gives us a certain, that it's not that that's, I'm not devaluing life or these experiences, but to know that life is just about these experiences is quite liberating in itself.
FOMO is actually taking others' experiences as a benchmark.
Yes.
Even it may not resonate with you, but the society at that point of time is saying this is good. So you kind of, even though I may not love going to remote places, but because discovery of new tourist spots is the thing these days, you feel left out if you are not doing exactly that, even though you don't actually have the desire to do it.
Correct. No, I'm not telling that's not the case. It is the case, and it's very valuable to go for new experiences and so on. But what I wanted to say here is just to know that it is still, regardless of where you go, even you go to the moon or the Mars, it would still be this 5 set of the senses, some bodily sensations and some thoughts. That's about it. So that is like when you abstract it out like that, you say, okay, this is what it is.
Again, the very important point you made is that the distinction between whether you choose vanilla or chocolate. You are the sovereign. We forget that ultimately that experience has to be our own for us to experience that joy. So all these combinations, so this FOMO thing is somebody, like Jyoti said, it's somebody else's experience. We get influenced in saying, oh, that must be great. And we imagine that, we will also be happy experiencing that. Which is contradictory to your own actually fundamental experience. Whether you like it or not, you don't know. When you actually experience it, you are the best judge of whether you like it or not.
Okay.
And we give that up, because in society, most of the time, we keep giving that up and we live other people's experiences.
Correct.
This is the problem we face.
To the point that if you end up liking vanilla over chocolate, how can you like vanilla? How can you not
Ask
like chocolate?
Rituji.
No, I also feel like I'm bringing the commercial aspect of it, that we as humans have always believed in herding ourselves in groups which define us. For example, like we divide ourselves on the basis of ethnicity, but more often we divide ourselves on the basis of likes and dislikes. And commercially, advertisement and the advertising industry is actually emphasizing on that. That's the entire thing about consumer behavior. Why do we study it? Because we want to herd people in groups. and we want to see what works for which group. So the influencing of thoughts or experiencing happiness, as you started,
Individual.
is eventually individual, but when it is in a group, we feel validated for that happiness.
Correct. And that validation is also a
It's
kind
also-
of an
exactly.
happiness inducing. It's not that it is
Exactly.
not. It is also
Yes.
an important
Yes.
part.
Different layers.
Correct.
It's all, basically it's a tribal. You want to be part of one tribe. And tribes can be defined in different ways. Like she said, race, ethnicity, or even your close group. We all want to belong to some tribe.
Absolutely.
And that is, because that's a sense of, it goes back to the
That makes us feel good. That's a
Good.
part of the emotional
Emotion.
aspect which is
connection.
So I
And
think
sometimes we, because as a group that is validated, we feel happy even if we are crying as a group. For example, when we watch an emotional movie and we cry, we come out of the theater feeling, oh God, so everybody cried.
Felt the same
movie is
emotion.
good. So
Good.
that, so that groupism of our understanding of happiness is also important.
yes,
And
absolutely.
I think as a feeling of being happy, that forms a big part of our happiness.
Yeah. Wonderful point. So basically what this all shows is once you understand what's going on, it's valuable. So it's not that you can be part of a group, you can cry with the group, but you're not going to be bringing it back with you for 1 week. That you cried and then that's whatever happened in the movie is the depressed state of mind is not going to continue with it. Okay, after you're out of the movie, you'll go and have a nice meal in the restaurant or drink coffee and laugh together. But what I'm trying to just say is, if we know what's going on, we are in a better position than not knowing. Coming back to Raghuji's point, why is it important to understand what's going on intellectually? So that when you experience it, you will be able to put the experience in the right
Context.
perspective. Yeah.
Why is it important for us to know where we are?
I think that's the human quality of mind, right? That's where the mind comes in. The other species of, consciousness, they don't put their mind so much into everything they are experiencing.
For them, it's all instinct. For us, it is, because we have to live in a civic society. You can't suddenly take all of your clothes and then walk around. We have to conform to certain structures. Therefore, we need to be taught. This is good, this is bad, this is not good. And we get conditioned over the years. And that, in a large framework, takes away your core, this thing of to be happy by yourself. Because it's all a groupism and group happiness that we start.
Yeah.
We get
I think this is a very important point. Why do you ask the question why you need to have a structure? You don't have a choice. If you don't figure out what is going on, somebody will tell you what is going on and it will go into your head.
Yeah.
So you are anyway following a structure, whether you like it or not. So you better follow a structure which is
Knowingly.
and scientifically validated and have thought through logically. There are no contradictions and so on.
And
So
also,
you have your own structure in your mind.
Yeah.
I think it's evolution. You look at any species in the world. I will give you 2 examples. Forget about human beings. Look at lions. They live in pride, in a pride, right? Because a single individual will not survive. And look at the bees. We think that we are most organized. Bees are probably more organized than us. They have even decided what the queen is going to do and what the worker bees are going to do at different levels. So, as an individual, we can only proceed from point A to point B in one lifetime. But as a group, we can jump from point A to Z
Absolutely.
in that same lifetime. Therefore, I think grouping together, and that's why we need to have a structure.
and also to the point that why should we understand? In simple maths, when we were kids, we would have been taught like 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 3 is 5. If we just leave it at that, it's a very abstract concept. I know 2 plus 3 is 5, but I don't know what is 5 plus 3.
Yeah.
I don't know what is 10 plus 10. I don't know how many units of what mixed with how many units of something else brings me something else. That knowledge and understanding that certain units of X with a certain units of Y brings me something, gives me so much of joy out of bringing in my own understanding into practice. So that is probably why we need to understand things rather
Exactly.
than
You're telling
leaving it
that the
abstract.
framework
Exactly.
can be used in many places. It's not just
This is
single
important point.
This is
instances.
an
important.
aha moment.
Very important
Because it's,
point.
you're going from knowledge to experience.
Yeah.
Here, so 1 plus 2 is 3, you're taught. 3 plus 5 is 8, you're taught. But for you to know 5 plus 10 is 15, you should have experienced it.
Yes.
Understood it.
Yeah, you should have understood. If you have to check 7 plus 8 is also 15, you should have understood it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without that understanding, you cannot make coffee.
And there are several levels of understanding. One level of understanding is just 7 plus 8 and 8 plus 7 are the same. Another level of understanding is 7 nuts plus,
Yeah.
there's endless possibilities
Yeah.
that
So
can
this
come.
is going from knowledge to experience. Also in Bhagavad Gita, there are Panchabhutas, body, mind, intellect, and the Chitta. Right? So that's what you are at this point. And if you have experienced the Lord or the ultimate happiness, is the point of arrival, and for that you need to be thinking about Him always.
Correct. That's also a framework.
Yeah, that is the framework. And so the structure takes you towards happiness. So this is going from the framework to experience.
Correct. And the analogy where we used clouds and the sky
Yeah, is
is
also
also meant the
structure.
same thing.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
sky is the analogy for the
Yeah.
chitta,
Yeah,
and all the clouds are the various,
yeah.
the 8, the Panchabhutas and the mind, intellect, and the ego. I'm very glad that we had this discussion and make clear about why it's important to have. It's okay to study something. No, that's very intellectual. No. So I think that sentiment is there too much. It's okay even when we do bhakti, everything, we are actually having a framework and then going there.
Even the scriptures say,
Yeah.
that you are given this body, mind, intellect to actually go across and achieve the ultimate. Without this makeup that you have of your body and mind, intellect, how will you actually reach that?
Absolutely.
It's not possible. So it's kind of, it's contradicting, but you need this to achieve that.
In the interest of time, I think we skip the next paragraph and then we go to the theories of happiness.
Theories of happiness, different strokes for different folks. Hedonism, the pursuit of pleasure. It is hedonism, right? The pronunciation.
They call it hedonism, hedonism. It doesn't
Okay,
matter.
hedonism. Hedonism, with roots tracing back to ancient Greek philosophers like Aristippus and Epicurus, priorities pleasure and the avoidance of pain as key ingredients for happiness. Imagine sinking into a luxurious bubble bath after a long, exhausting day. The warm water soothes your muscles, the scent of lavender fills the air, and you sip on a glass of fine wine. As you relax, you pick up a beautifully written novel, losing yourself in its rich prose and compelling story. Later, you admire a piece of art that resonates deeply with you, evoking a sense of wonder and inspiration. According to the hedonistic view, this indulgence is both sensory pleasures and the higher pleasures of literature, and the art is the essence of happiness.
Nice. So one of the, you ask a child, what is happiness? Most of the time, it's very easy to come up with the pleasure theory. How do you start forming the theories? Whatever is pleasant makes you happy. It's common sense, and that's absolutely, there's a lot of truth in that. Here, one of the things which I would still want to talk about is this Epicurus. What do we usually associate Epicurus with?
Epicurean, gourmet.
Good.
Food.
Gourmet food, right? And or some fine wine, anything to do with luxury, we call it as Epicurean. But that's a total misrepresentation of what Epicurus, the philosopher, actually thought about and wrote about. So he he had two things he said is very important. He had this idea of, one is called Ataraxia, just using those words to honor him. It's called mental peace. And then Aponia is bodily ease. So he just said the idea is to maximize mental peace and bodily ease. He didn't talk about gourmet food. In fact, he talked about it and he classified the needs according to a matrix of 1/2. Not a matrix, it's very easy to understand. It's natural, unnatural on one side, necessary, unnecessary. So he considered food, shelter, relationships, all this as necessary and natural.
Right.
And he concluded that, these are all pretty easy to get for most people. So not very expensive. You don't need, we're talking about food. Our idli, for example, shelter and relationships is easy. Then he considered gourmet food, fine wines, all this as still natural, because they are still natural, means it still satisfies our appetite. But he said it's unnecessary. The reason why he said it's unnecessary is not because something inherently wrong with it. It's totally fine. But he said maybe you will not be able to afford it. To afford it, you still need to earn a lot of money, where you might end up losing your mental peace, or you might be stressed about that. So if you have a lot of money and you want to spend on something, he wasn't against it. So you only just said, it's unnecessary for Ataraxia and Aponia. For the goal, this is not required. And then he had something called, in the unnatural category, things like fame, power, all these things he didn't consider it as natural. Because he said natural for him was taking care of the body, basic yes. So this is actually Epicurus. It's very important to understand what Epicurus.
Very interesting. Yeah. I always thought it was associated with gourmet food.
Yeah. So that was one of the things which I wanted to bring up, and then maybe continue this. Let's finish that paragraph.
Yeah, sure. Still, questions remain about the long-term viability of a purely hedonistic life. Imagine someone who focuses solely on maximizing pleasure in the moment, constantly seeking out sensory delights like rich food, luxurious baths, and endless entertainment. While indulging in these pleasures, including the higher joys of literature and art, might bring immediate satisfaction. This approach can be unsustainable in the long run. Overindulgence in sensory pleasures can lead to health problems, social isolation, and a superficial sense of fulfillment that fades quickly. Even the higher pleasures, when pursued without moderation, risk becoming hollow, stripped of their depth and meaning, leaving the individual yearning for something more lasting and profound.
This has been our experience also, right? I mean, how much can you, at some point you will say, is that all there is? This is a very normal human reaction. Okay, then we'll just do desire satisfaction and then we will stop because we will need 15 minutes for our meditation. Okay, so desire satisfaction,
Desire satisfaction, the never-ending cycle. Some philosophers have proposed that fulfilling our needs and desires is a crucial component of happiness. When we achieve something we've yearned for, the emotional reward can be profound. Imagine the immense satisfaction you feel after finally saving enough money to buy your dream camera. The moment you hold it in your hands, there's a rush of joy, not just from acquiring the object itself, but from the realization that your hard work and perseverance have paid off. This fulfillment goes beyond the mere act of purchase. It ignites your passion for photography, sparking creativity and motivation. Each click of the shutter, each carefully composed shot add layers to that happiness as you explore the world through a new lens. However, focusing solely on desire satisfaction can lead to a never-ending cycle of wanting more. Imagine someone constantly chasing the next big purchase, the next exciting experience, or the next validation on social media. This relentless pursuit can overshadow their appreciation of what they already have, fostering feelings of dissatisfaction, and a sense of happiness is just out of reach.
Yeah. Here, one of the things which is a very well-researched topic in positive psychology is this idea of hedonic treadmill. What's a treadmill?
We keep running on it.
Basically, we keep running on it, but we never move. So they use this analogy to say that, okay, a desired satisfaction is more like running on a treadmill. So the moment one desire is satisfied, the next one comes and next one comes. So you never make any movement. And the bigger point they were trying to say is there is something called you quickly return to baseline happiness very fast. One example I would like to share here is when we bought our first house. It had a beautiful view. And like for the house, the view was like coming at a premium. So even we paid more because we thought we were going to be enjoying the view every day. Sure enough, we did enjoy. We always enjoy the view. But 9 out of 10 days, you already gotten used to it. Your brain has already gotten used to the view. So it's no longer like you come and watch the view or something like that. It's okay. It's part of, you're just taking it for granted. So that's called hedonic adaptation. That means once we start enjoying something and once it becomes a regular feature, it's gone. Or imagine eating ice cream. The first cup will be very tasty. So immediately after that, you take a second cup, you might enjoy. The third one will be okay. So this is hedonic adaptation. Quickly it comes back to the baseline. So this is the thing which is the important thing about desire satisfaction.
The law of diminishing returns.
Exactly, law of diminishing
Returns.
What is the baseline here you are referring to here? So in the example where you see the beautiful nature outside and you enjoy it, and the baseline is you come back to yourself. Is it?
correct.
So you see something you enjoy and then you come back to yourself. Ice cream, you eat say 3 scoops of ice cream, then you're coming back to that state of
Not wanting.
not wanting it. Yeah, I don't want anything.
Mm-hmm.
So there also I don't need to see. Here also it's I don't need to eat. So it is that baseline. I don't need. So lack of a desire is that state of. So
You're
that's what
nailing
you're
it really well, yes.
Yeah. So
We can start with this point next week. So now let's go into this meditation.
okay.
The totally experiential view. Okay, great. So, in the next 10 minutes, we're going to forget about all worries. It's our time. Let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Let's become aware of the full tapestry of our experience, whatever we just read today. Since our eyes are closed, there are probably no sights. Some sound of the aircon. the touch of our body on the seat we are sitting on. Maybe there are some little sensations of warmth or hunger. We're not going to judge any of these as good or bad. Just let them be. There might be some thoughts. And some emotions. Let all of them just be as it is. Whenever our mind gets caught up in some thinking, which inevitably it will, just gently bring it back to your breath. Notice that the breath is happening by itself. The sounds of the chirping of the birds happening by itself. Even the thoughts, when they arise, they're just arising by themselves. You don't have control over anything. Take another deep breath in. And exhale. Start noticing that there is something that is aware of the sounds. The sound is the object, and you are the subject. Something that is aware of the smell of incense, that is the object, and you are the subject. The weight of your body, the sensations, is the object. You are aware of it. Notice that your bodily sensations is what you are aware. You are not the sensations. You are aware of it. Similarly, the thoughts. Even if it's a self-referential thought, like I am good, is an object and you are aware of it. You are not your thoughts. Become aware whether you are feeling pleasant, maybe unpleasant, maybe some emotion. The emotion is an object and you are aware of it. You are not your emotion. Let the tapestry of the experience, the full range, happen by itself. You are a neutral witness just for this 5 minutes. After this, you can just go back and do everything per normal. See the entire tapestry of experience as an object. Let's take another deep breath in. Let go. Let's stay with this for a minute or two and then we will end. Gently become aware of your surroundings. The weight of your body on the chair. Your breath. At your own time and pace, you can gently open your eyes. Thank you.
Sogam
I slept, I think.
So we are 3 minutes before time. So let's take some quick reflections. Maybe Tanya ji, you probably have the first one because you are the 8 o'clock person.
No, it was lovely. I think it's good to see the various perspectives on happiness. I'm looking forward to peeling off the layers and coming closer to the Advaita perspective.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's always good to go back.
Little louder.
It's always good to go back and revalidate, you know. I think Raghuji popped the important question of the day. Why do we need to do this? And I think we came to the conclusion that it was, unless we did that, then, you know, this whole body-mind intellect complex would not be able to function at its best. And what does that mean is what we're exploring now. Is it just the body-mind complex to just exist in the world? Or is there something higher than that, which could be the person? So,
Nice. Prabhuji has gone to sleep.
It's very, very nice. Yeah, to me, it's like, you know, I always go back to my childhood experiences to see, like you're referring, you know, what has changed from then to now, and the realization that what you were doing then is also something what you're doing now. There's not much different from what you were doing then. So in school you would learn a subject. What I used to do was
Energy, whenever you are, yeah.
so to understand something well, I would have to read the textbook, think about it, read the notes, and solve some problems. So go to multiple things to understand something very well. And sometimes it also meant you discuss it with somebody else. And sometimes other people will have to ask questions. So you ask a question and then you understand. So here, I think we are doing several things to understand the one thing that matters to us most, which is happiness.
And ourselves.
And ourselves, yeah. Why? Yeah. How can we be happy? By doing several things. That's my reflection. Thank you.
Nice.
For me, it's like as I'm growing older, meaning of happiness or being happy is changing from happiness searching outside. Now I am realizing that happiness is to just be. You spoke about Epicurean, the mental peace and bodily ease. So maybe as I grow still older, bodily ease will also start mattering more. But mental peace, I think, is something that I am realizing one does not have to pursue. It just is. You let everything else drop, you are in peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Still
I will
thinking
take it so that
about,
I can get some.
about the structure part. I still, so structure is necessary, definitely, but it should be kept loose, right? Otherwise, if it's too tight, then you compromise your.
Yeah, you have to go back and forth between the structure and experience, I think.
Yes.
It cannot be, you cannot be stuck in a structure. You have to know, structure is only necessary, I think, to know.
it's a tool.
To know where you are. It's like the compass. It's like, where are you with respect to the structure? But the experience is what matters.
Yeah.
Also, you know this, you took it back to Epicurean. So for me, now it's actually very personally beneficial because I whenever I look at something nice to eat or when the food is good, it's an Epicurean moment for me. Not that was the thought. Now, but I'm going back to this, mental peace and bodily ease. Now, does this give me mental peace and bodily ease? Is what I have to remember. Okay, I love the food, but it's not Epicurean. It's not that.
Yeah.
That's also something at the surface that I take away today.
And today's meditation was very, very beautiful. It very clearly distinguished the background from the foreground. So what we speak, what we listen, what we hear is all in the foreground, right? And that is where most of our attention and awareness is. But then when we shut our eyes and we listen to the background, all this foreground vanishes, just becomes empty. And when the background is there, the awareness is so beautiful. Like even while we were having the talk, the birds chirping and even I could even hear some toads noise. These are all there, but we just don't pay attention to it, and it is not in our awareness. But when our awareness goes to these, which are background, and that becomes the center of our existence or even our presence, then it's really beautiful. So that's where
It's amazing how within the meditation itself, you can block out what you don't want. When we were listen to the sound of the fan or listen to the birds chirping, we're paying attention to that. The moment your attention goes to your breath, you are unaware of anything else, You can actually focus on something and ignore everything else is a possibility.
Absolutely.
So,
Nice. In fact, the way we did it, I really like the thing because it included a bit of reading, a lot of discussion, in fact, different perspectives, some of which I've never thought about, and also this meditation, all putting it together. So, very nice session. For me, so today the main things were, one is this idea of Epicurean, where we always think, people think of pleasure means like it's has to be very expensive, and so this idea of having simple thing is important. That's how the hedonists even started. That's an important thing. The other one is the adaptation, how we can get very used to certain things, and then it's no longer that extra pleasure or thing which we're going to get, that is going to come down. The most important thing was this point about why do we even need a framework. That discussion was really interesting, where this is not just some theory, but we're actually going from a first person perspective and experiencing and understanding it and making it our own. Thank you.
Thank you.